One of the things that I thought was so cool about it is, this helps customers that are new to AWS where they're kind of going, I got the tiger by the tail, what do I do? And it helps them start well architected from the beginning. All right, is this thing on? We're ready to go. Hey, everybody. It's Ed from BUILDSTR.
John Delgado, Cloud Solutions Architect, BUILDSTR.
So we're now in the new year, 2025. Welcome to 2025, John.
2025. We're here. We made it.
You know what? I was literally, the last call that I was just on, the three of us were talking about how normally the momentum of the new year starts to kick off around mid-February. And I feel like the momentum of the new year started to kick off like mid-December. So it's like this crazy, which is good because instead of having 9 months of a year to really focus, you have kind of 11 and a half months to focus. So that's great.
It really does feel like it's been nonstop since last year, and I already feel like we're in Q2, but we're only days into 2025, which is so crazy.
It is wild. Okay, because things are so crazy, there's literally just kind of two things that were top of mind for me. And I wanted to talk about the AWS blog and then get into one of the tactical solutions that marries strategy and tactics. So anything that you want to talk about, John?
Yeah, I think we'll go over the Landing Zone Quickstart that we've been cooking up this past.
Bingo. We're on the same page.
All right. Let's do it.
So at the beginning of the, I think it's the most recent AWS blog, they put in Dr. Werner Vogel's like 5 strategic paradigms for 2025. And I didn't want to so much get into that and go through each one because I feel like then you're reinventing the wheel. But the thing that resonated with me as I was reading through these 5 things was, it's really, I think it was item number 4. Oh, sorry, it's item number 5. And let me just read it. It says, intention-driven consumer technology takes hold. And I don't know about you, but as I've kind of gone through that and thought about all of the paradigm shifts that are happening, one of the things that for me that really helps build this flywheel inside of my head is, how do we help customers' lives get better? And it's cool to see that the strategic vision, paradigm shifts, and the things that we can do are lining up with the end customer or the consumer, and having the consumer in mind. So I don't know. I read that and I was like, it's the beginning of a year, lots going on. I think it's good to have this perspective of how do we think about our paradigm for the whole year instead of living reactive to everything that's happening. What do you think, John?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, going over 2024 and doing a lot of the well-architected reviews and working with the well-architected framework with AWS, one of the big philosophies is like working backwards, right? And business driven results, right? And like working with that intent is so important. And so really reading that blog post, it really resonated with everything I've kind of been doing with 2024. So it's been kind of cool to see like, oh, okay, I'm not crazy. Like people really are, we are following our North Star in a sense, right?
Yes. Yeah. And so I think just off of something you said, I think everybody should at least skim it and find your North Star. Like that was the main takeaway for me, is like, find your North Star.
Yeah, I definitely think that once you understand where you're going, and basically what your vision is, it's clear, everything kind of falls into place, right? Once you understand your customer, the business results will follow, right? Because everything you're doing is for your customer, right? And so that's your intent, right?
Yeah, I love it. So the second thing, which is like a springboard off of what we just talked about, is our Landing Zone Quickstart. And the thing I love about that is it's set up with a well-architected framework in mind, and it's a quick start. It's something that we can help customers with very quickly. So, do you want to take and give a 30,000-foot overview of that?
Yeah. So going over the well-architected review, really, what the Landing Zone Quick Start does is it kind of standardizes um, security, governance, and networking, separation of workloads. It kind of covers a bunch of different things overall for the well-architected review, right? And so it kind of there's a couple different concepts it's going to cover, but basically there's three different core accounts that it creates, right? You have a management root account, you have a log archive for centralized logging, and an audit account for security. So kind of centralizes those. And then all your resources are going to be organized into different OUs for such as like a sandbox, production, development, shared services, such as like maybe like your DevOps, CI/CD, different things like that, right? And so by having those different resources grouped by workloads and separating out your resources like that, that follows the well-architected uh, framework to the T, basically. And in addition to that, it adds additional security and compliance. And then because of all of this, you also get increased operation and cost management support.
Great.
And because it's a quick start, we've been doing this for a ton of clients, and it's a repeatable thing that we've been able to streamline and been able to implement very quickly and cost effectively, which has been a huge win for both BUILDSTR and the clients that we've helped.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was so cool about it is, this helps customers that are new to AWS, where they're kind of going, I got the tiger by the tail, what do I do? And it helps them start well architected from the beginning. But you designed it in such a way that it's not destructive, it's additive. So customers that already have something going, it's not going to go in and try and rewrite and mess things up, but it's literally going to add in and layer on the right aspect of the accounts, the organizational units, adding in any of the control tower SCUs, adding in all of those different components that are necessary. So it becomes additive instead of destructive. And for me, that was a big epiphany, because when we first started talking about it, I was kind of going, how do we do this for customers that are already going? And when I asked it, you're like, easy, Ed. I already have the plan for that, and it's implemented with how I architected this solution. So I loved that.
In addition to this, it's really AWS helping us all, because they came out with the Landing Zone Accelerator, and we were able to use that tool and build on top of their tool to really help us out as well. So we were really able to just kind of hit the ground running and take what we already knew and just really go full speed ahead with it. And so that's what we were able to accomplish.
Great. So shameless plug. If you need help with your landing zones or your accounts, or if you have any customers that need help, reach out to us. We have a great solution ready to go. That's a quick start that can really crank up the momentum of the flywheel for what your vision is for yourself and for your customers this new year. So those were really the kind of two main things that I had, is something paradigm, strategy, know what your North Star is, and then we have some tactics to help you.
Yeah, so here's to 2025 and our North Star.
Here's 2025 and our North Star. Okay, thanks everybody for tuning in. We will be here again next Tuesday for John and Ed's Tech Talk Together Tuesdays.
John's TED Talk Together Tuesdays.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.